It's been more than a century since the Michelin brothers first fitted a passenger car with pneumatic tyres, and the technology has evolved almost beyond recognition. Today's cars have better handling, safety, noise reduction, and even increased fuel efficiency. For example, up to 15% of fuel can be wasted overcoming rolling resistance. Modern tyres designed to combat this energy drain can reduce that figure by a third. But there's still a long way to go, especially when it comes to reductions in CO2 emissions.
In Europe, the regulations say that by 2012, we've all got to produce cars that produce an average of about 130 grams of CO2 per kilometre. Now, to put that into context, it's a drive cycle measured thing, but at the moment, most cars are about 150, perhaps even 200. And certainly the big sports cars and the very luxury cars are up to 300, even 400 in some cases. So it's going to be a big change.
The biggest change could come from a fundamental rethink of how cars are powered. When you open up the bonnet of your car, you expect to see one of these, a dirty, great big fossil fuel guzzling internal combustion engine. Wouldn't it be nice if you could make it just disappear?
Well, this is one of our engineering vehicles, and as you can see, one of the things that is missing is the engine. This vehicle is a pickup truck. It's normally run with a 2.5 litre diesel, and with our drivetrain you remove all of that. As you can also see, there's no gearbox as well. There's no transmission tunnel or axle.
Instead, the vehicle is driven directly by 4 motors mounted inside the wheels. This technology makes the car much more efficient and could even extend the range by up to 30% by recapturing energy when braking through a kinetic feedback system. One of the biggest problems has traditionally been an electric motor's lack of power, but applying torque directly to the wheels is more than twice as efficient than the traditional drive system. Suddenly, even a big SUV becomes pretty nimble.
We've got a Volvo C30 that does 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds with 4 of these motors. It goes on to just over 100 miles an hour, and the 50 to 70 time is 3 and a bit seconds. So that's a standard family car, 3-door hatchback, and yet it's got almost Ferrari-like performance.
Losing so much metalwork and frame structure also has massive implications for design. That extra space could be used for more batteries or to make the car smaller and more efficient. There are implications for improving safety with room for more crumple zones. And there's a strong business case as well.
If you think about parts and complexity run hand in hand, and complexity and cost run hand in hand. So if you can reduce parts and reduce complexity, you can reduce costs, and ultimately cost is the most important consideration for the consumer as well as for the automobile manufacturer.
The company expects to start putting cars on the road in the next 6 months, but as promising as the technology looks, with all that extra weight in the wheels, there's one place it's not going to go down well.
What we've decided to do is we're going for a really low carbon car. Now, in order to achieve that, we've got to be quite clever, and it's going to be unlike anything that's currently on the market in 210 at the moment. It's going to be what's called an extreme hybrid. So that's basically a generator on board that produces your own electricity.
It's not new technology. Diesel-electric engines have been used in trains for years, but on the road it can increase the range of the life car dramatically.
It is a pure electric car if you want it to be, and of course you can plug it in, but producing your own electricity with a conventional diesel tank means that instead of having a range of 100 miles, we're going for a range of 1,000 miles.
And with algae-based biodiesels increasingly looking like they might be able to supply a real alternative to conventional fuel, we could soon see vehicles like the Life Car being used as a personal power plant sitting on every drive, providing an essential backup should your local power station be unable to cope with demand.